Just before the famine, Mr. and Mrs. Samuel Carter Hall toured Ireland, and soon after produced 3 magnificent volumes in which they wrote about everything under the Irish sky, including, of course, weddings.
Our readers will bear in mind that we are describing a picture as exhibited in the cottage of a small farmer where there is a comparative abundance, and on such occasions the national hospitality is never bounded by prudence. Far less merry and infinitely less plentiful of good cheer is the scene enacted within one of the common cabins of the hard-handed labourer, where, not infrequently, the marriage feast is little more than a dish of potatoes and a jug of sweet milk. If the bride's father or brother be a strong farmer who can afford to furnish a good dinner, the marriage takes place at the bride's house, the bridegroom bringing with him as many of his friends as choose to accompany him. It is not uncommon for the priest's collection to amount to 20, 30, and sometimes 40 or 50 pounds where the parties are comfortable. The time most in favour for celebrating weddings is just before Lent. The guests are always numerous and consist of all ranks, from the lord and the lady of the manor, squireens, farmers, down to the common labourer, wives, of course, included. Perfect equality prevails on this occasion, and yet the natural courtesy of the Irish character prevents any disturbance of social order. Everyone keeps his place, while at the same time the utmost freedom reigns. The priest sits at the head of the table. Near him the bride and the groom, the helpers of the clergyman, and the more respectable guests. The other guests occupy the remainder of the table, which extends the whole length of the barn in which the dinner generally takes place. Immediately the cloth is removed, the priest marries the young couple, and then the bride's cake is brought in and placed before the priest, who, putting on his stole, blesses it and cuts it up into small slices, which are handed round in a large dish among the guests. Each guest takes a slice of the cake and lays down in place of it a donation for the priest, consisting of pounds, crowns, or shillings, according to the ability of the donor. After that, wine and punch go round. In the course of an hour or so, part of the range of tables is removed, and the musicians, usually a piper and a fiddler, strike up. First, single parties dance reels, jigs, and doubles. Now, this last is a species of dance very difficult to describe. It is, however, the male partner who shows off, and the best idea we can give you of this is that it consists in striking the ground very rapidly with the heel and toe, or with the toes of each foot alternately. The perfection of this motion consists, besides its rapidity, in the fury in which it is performed. A stranger, not hearing the music and seeing only the dancer, would be sure to imagine he was killing a rat, nor would it be very safe to have this dance performed by a stout fellow in a frail loft. But country dances now succeed, in which, as in the single dances, priest and laic, old and young, rich and poor, the master and his maid, the landlord and the tenant's daughter, all join together without distinction. Yet it is pleasing to observe how the peasants return on such occasions the condescension of their superiors with additional respect. During the intervals of the dance, drinking is resumed, and though on these occasions it was often carried to excess, we never knew, nor ever met, anyone who knew of anything like a quarrel taking place at a country wedding. Indeed, we have seen people who were, as the saying goes, wicked in their liquor, yet intoxicated at these joyous festivals, without manifesting ill temper. On the contrary, they have been remarkably entertaining, as if the general harmony had expelled the demon of discord. Songs are also sung in both Irish and English. In the course of the night, a collection is made for the music and another for the poor. The dancing generally continues until morning, when the first intimation of breaking up is the dancing of a figure called Sir Roger de Coverley. As soon as that dance is over, all the more timid part of the female guests slip out of the barn to avoid the finale, which is as follows. The music striking up the quadrille air called Voulez-vous, a gentleman goes round with a handkerchief which he throws around the neck of any lady he chooses, falls on his knees, gently pulls her down and kisses her. Then, giving her the handkerchief, continues a kind of trot round the barn. The lady does the same with any gentleman she likes, and giving him the handkerchief, catches the first gentleman by the skirts of his coat and trots after him around the barn. This is done alternately by all present until all the young men and women are trotting around catching each other. They then form a ring around the last person who has the handkerchief, who selects a lady or gentleman, as the case may be, and after a kiss leads his or her partner to a seat. This is done until the whole circle is broken up, and thus terminates an Irish country wedding.